Do you think you're being cheated on by a narcissist? Do you want to know for sure? Today we're going to talk about the top 10 signs of a cheating narcissist. Let's get started. My name is Angie Atkinson, and on this channel I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse and toxic relationships. If that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button and let's get going. But first, do you have your coffee? Today I'm using my cup from my assistant and friend Jamie that says, always believe that something wonderful is going to happen. I love it. All right, let's do this. So today we're going to talk about the top 10 signs of a cheating spouse. So let me ask you, do you think that your narcissist is cheating on you? If you do think that your spouse or partner is cheating, you might be looking for confirmation, right? Well, before you take steps to start spying on your spouse, and before you decide to hire a PI or stalk them in the streets, before you decide to do something that you don't really want to do or that you don't want to have to do, let's talk about the signs, all right? If your spouse is cheating on you or your partner is cheating on you, there are certain things that you can watch for. The first thing is a change in physical appearance. So people who are cheating, a lot of the time, they want to impress or entice the person that they're having an affair with, okay? Inappropriate relations, as it were. When they're doing that, they often change or improve their appearance in ways that they haven't before, or that they haven't since y'all started getting, going out in the first place. When they do that, they might start paying more attention to their clothes, their weight. They might they just change things about themselves that, you notice, and they're not trying to do it for your attention sometimes. You know what I'm talking about? All right, number 2, distance or lack of communication. So if previously, everything was great, which with a narcissist it might not have been, but did you recently notice that you were having a difference in communication? Your spouse wasn't communicating as well, or suddenly they started talking to you more and over-explaining? Or they stopped talking to you and they distanced themselves from you at home in a way that they hadn't before? Well, there's a good chance they might be cheating on you. If it's because they're not talking to you because maybe they're afraid of making a mistake and accidentally mentioning something about the affair, or maybe they're just discussing their problems with another person already. And with a narcissist, it would make sense because they tend to overcompensate sometimes. Like if they think that maybe you're going to leave them or they're bored with you or whatever, they're going to look for another relationship. They're going to look for someone, another branch. The narcissist never lets go of the first branch until they have control of the second branch. Number 3, they constantly work late. Did they always work late, or suddenly, depending on them or their career, they really might have to work late sometimes? But with that being said, be on the lookout for a change in schedule. Be on the lookout for things that are different. You just use your best judgment, your gut, your intuition, it knows. If your husband or wife suddenly started working late and there's no logical explanation for it, or if the explanation seems too convenient or whatever, understand that some careers do require late night work. If they work in a factory and they usually work the 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. shift, and suddenly they're like, I'm going to work extra nights all week, and you don't see it in the paycheck, might be cheating. Number 4, they spend too much time with their friends. Now, that doesn't always mean they're a cheater. Spending time with friends is normal and healthy. In fact, it really does help to your relationship if your spouse and yourself have friends outside of it. But as y'all know, with narcissists, a lot of times they make sure you don't have very many friends outside the relationship, and they try to keep you kind of isolated. But if all of a sudden they start hanging out with new friends, or they spend more time with friends than usual, it might be something to concern yourself with. So look for the appearance of new friends. Look for an increased amount of time. I'm just going to Billy Bob's house over here, whatever. If your husband or wife has gone from spending 1 night a week with friends to 3 or more, you might be getting cheated on. Number 5, you don't know where they are. So when you're married, there's never really a reason that you shouldn't know where your spouse is. So if you know where your spouse is, then you're good. If you don't know, chances are your spouse is cheating. If they arrive home, they better have a good reason for being late or not letting you know where they were. There's an app you can get called Life 360 that my family and I use. And my husband suggested to me that we put it on our phones, partially to keep track of the kids and partially just for convenience sake, so that we know, okay, well, we're almost home, or this is happening, or whatever. Now, if someone's cheating on you, they're going to not want to be on GPS. So keep that in mind. Number 6, you hear rumors, you hear things. A lot of times people aren't careful when they're cheating, so this will involve them telling someone else, or someone seeing them out on a date with another person. And in these types of situations, people by nature, they're going to talk about it. So listen to what you hear. If people are telling you that your spouse is cheating, there's probably a reason for that, and it might be time to start listening. Number 7, no sex. If your relationship has recently become sex-free or the sex has changed, it's less often or more often, there's a good chance that your spouse is cheating on you. Now, men and women who get sex elsewhere, they don't usually always need to have it again when they return home, but in some cases they do anyway because of guilt issues and weird sex issues. If the sex has suddenly changed and everything's different, something to concern yourself with. Number 8, you're accused of cheating because you all know that narcissists project. Obviously, in our society, with the way the internet works and everything else these days, cheating is a big concern. Half of all marriages end in divorce, and I would bet that a large percentage of those are due to cheating. If your spouse accuses you of cheating, if you have displayed behavior that leads them to that conclusion, there's a good reason, for them to say that. But in most cases, if you haven't, there's a good chance that they're accusing you of cheating because it makes themselves feel less guilty. Projection. Common narcissistic behavior. Number 9, hearing the phrase, "Oh, we're just friends." Yeah, the just friends phrase is a big sign of a cheater. As with all other friendships, it's important to keep your mind out, open and use your best judgment. But if the friend is of the opposite sex and recently acquired, something might be up. Can men and women be friends without being sexually attracted to each other? Yeah, I think so. Does it happen where a married person hooks up with a friend of the opposite sex that is separate from your spouse? If your spouse is friends with someone of the opposite sex, you should also be friends with them if you can, but that doesn't mean that it's clear. I just talked to a client yesterday who was telling me that she was in a situation where her spouse was cheating with 2 other people, and he would bring those people to their home for holidays and stuff and pretend that they were friends, and they kind of got off knowing they were cheating with him, and he kind of got off on it while the wife was being clueless and trying to be friends with these women. That's a typical narcissist for you. Just let's dig it in a little deeper, Number 10, bad feelings. If you feel in your gut that something is wrong, it might be wrong. Bad feelings are not something that should be easily dismissed in this case. If you have a reason to believe that your narcissist is cheating on you, they really might be cheating on you. If you don't want to be in a relationship with a cheater, if you want a monogamous relationship, you have a right to have one. Please follow your heart here. Don't just give up because it's easier. Don't just let them do it because it makes your life easier. If you really want to be in a monogamous relationship, you deserve to have that. Do what you need to do to find out if they're actually cheating. These steps might involve getting a PI. So those are my 10 signs. Later today, I'm going to show you a video. It's already done, actually. I just have to finish editing it, about how to spy on a cheater. And if you guys like that video, I'll produce more along that line. I've got some material that I'll give to you as well if you're interested. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, here it is time for the question of the day. And the question of the day is, have you been cheated on by a narcissist? And if you were, how did you find out? I would love to see your tips in the comments below. I will use them in a future video. And if you don't want me to use your name, just say that. That's okay. But I'm really interested in knowing what you guys have to say about this, because I'd like to help other survivors to figure their stuff out too. Okay? That's all I've got for you today. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of my day and a part of my life. And thanks for letting me be a part of yours. It really does mean a lot to me. One more thing, I'll be here later today for Talk to Me Tuesday Live at 1 p.m. Central Time. So make sure you pop in if you can, if you have any questions you'd like me to answer live. All right? I'll see you then. And stay tuned for another video. Have a wonderful week. Happy Tax Day. See you soon. It's my mission to teach others what I know to be true. You really can create the life you want. Take care of your body. Take care of your soul. Nurture the real you and introduce him or her to the world. Be comfortable in your own skin and in your place in this world. Take your spot. Take it now. And the universe will take its cue from you. You feel me? If so, subscribe to my channel. Let's get it done together.